The 24-hour economic policy of a political party is indicating that there will be nightclubs that will run for 24 hours. I'm not so sure how advantageous that is, because from my understanding of a social intervention in terms of policy, your social intervention must be doing something for the people. It's not the people doing something for the government. It's the government doing something for the people. So if you raise a social intervention of free SHS, it must be paying people school fees. That's a social intervention. Capitation grants. It must be paying something that people will otherwise pay. What do you call it? The NHIS. It must be paying a bill that the people would otherwise have paid. And you are committing the taxpayers' money to pay that bill. That's what social intervention means. It means that under the social contract, because you now have the taxpayers' money, you are going to make a decision as to how the taxpayers' money is distributed and applied. And you are telling the people that if they give you the mandate and you have control over the taxpayers' money, this and that and this one is the way in which you will apply the taxpayers' money. But if you tell the taxpayer that I'm going to make sure that you stay in a nightclub 24 hours, is he going to be paid when he's in a nightclub? What is going to happen? So I'm guessing that the media must begin to interrogate these issues. If you say you have a social intervention policy, what is the social intervention policy going to do for people? And that's why Cheddar said that it's only machines who can work for 24 hours. But you're asking the people to work longer than they are working now to earn more or to earn less, or what's the point? That is the question. So for NDC people who shrug it off and say that MPP don't understand it and they have to go to school, like Dr. Grace Ayensu told Kozi Menu that you have to go to school and you have never traveled before. And yeah, we have never traveled before. All that is fine. But we are not voting for the people who live abroad. We are voting for the people who live in Ghana. So if you say we haven't traveled abroad before, so we don't understand 24-hour economy, it's neither here nor there. We don't want to understand what happens abroad. We understand the problems that we have in Ghana. We know it. And we are looking for solutions or politicians who can render solutions to these problems. So if you bring a policy and we tell you that, what does it mean? And you say you haven't traveled before, so you don't understand it. It's neither here nor there. Yes, we may never travel at all. We may travel 20 years from now. We may also never travel. Traveling is not a mandate. It is about staying in our country and making sure that our government is doing what we need to do in our country so that we can be in our country. Once in a while, people travel. Yeah, that's okay. But you don't have to have a policy that is predicated based on the experience of Ghanaians abroad. The election for president, he's not going to be president abroad. As Rexoma says, you go to Paris, is there. You go to Belgium, is there. You go to UK, is there. That's not what we are voting for. We are voting for a president of Ghana who is able to change our situation. That's what we are voting for. A president of Ghana who understands the problem that we have today and who has proffered solutions to them. And if that president of Ghana has a record in politics, we are expecting to hear from him that based on your record in politics, what have you done to convince us that you will be able to do this as well? Because you are promising that you are not there. Somebody says, give me the steer. Somebody says, let me come back. Okay, so the give me the steer man is saying that I was there before. I'm a politician, I've been there before. This is what I have done. And if you look at what I'm able to achieve, I will be able to do this as well. So that's the whole conversation.